Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is the first episode in our new series covering the best stories from Norse mythology. And today, we're starting with Loki, the murder of Baldr. Now there's actually quite a few versions of this story from various surviving manuscripts. But for this telling, I'm going to be using the prose EDA, which is also known as Snorri Sturluson's EDA. It was written around 1220 AD by that guy, Snorri Sturluson, who was an Icelandic politician, historian, and poet. So let's jump right into it. As always, if you want to learn more about the sources used in these videos, check out the resources. If you enjoy what we do here and would like to help support the channel, check out our support page. And now, without further ado, let's get to the story. The god Baldr has had a recurring nightmare that he will die at the hands of his brother Hador. He goes to the wise woman Vala, who tells him that his death is prophesied, but that she can ward off danger for 9 nights. She makes a protective mist that will keep him safe for 9 nights. But after that, she says that she is powerless to help. Baldr decides to trust her and spends the next 9 nights sleeping in the mist. Each night he dreams of his death, but each morning he wakes up unharmed. On the 9th night, his dream is particularly vivid, but still he wakes up safe and sound in the mist. So he thinks that maybe he'll be spared after all. The moment he loses his guard, though, Hodor sneaks up on him while he's vulnerable and shoots him with one of his arrows. The mist protects him, though, and the arrow bounces off. He then wakes up for the last time and realizes that it's not just his brother that he has to worry about, but that the mist has been protecting him from all the other gods, and he can no longer rely on it. Tells his brother to shoot him so that he can go to Valhalla. Hodor isn't willing to do this, so Baldr runs away. When he hears that his brother is after him, all the gods try to kill him, but none of them succeed because he is protected by the mist. Thor tries to smash him with his hammer, but the mist protects him. Some of the gods get angry at the mist for protecting Baldr. One of them throws a stone that breaks the mist in Baldr. It's hit by another arrow that tears his heart out. All the gods, even his father Odin, wanted Baldr dead, because they thought that he was too powerful and that he was going to usurp Odin as the king of Asgard. So when they saw the mist protecting him, they were very angry that their power was being limited. When Baldr finally died, they could do whatever they wanted. After Baldr's death, all the gods meet together and argue about what should be done with his body. Some of them wanted to set it adrift on the ocean, but Frigg said that she didn't want any sea creatures to touch him, so that idea was scrapped. Some of them wanted to burn him, but she didn't want his body to be defiled by fire either. So they decided to bury him in a special tomb with all of his possessions. They made the coffin out of a boat and put the corpse inside along with his sword, his shield, his spear, his helmet, his rings, and his belt. After they buried him, they held a funeral feast in his honor. Meanwhile, down in the underworld, the goddess Hel was holding court. This Hel, by the way, was the daughter of Loki, not Frigg. But since she ruled over the underworld, the whole 9 yards, many people associated her with death. So she heard about Baldr's death and sent 2 of her servants to see if they could bring his corpse back with them. The servants went up to the surface and tried to convince the gods to give them Baldr's body so that they could pay their respects. Now, the gods weren't super keen on handing over their dead friend, but eventually they agreed to let the servants take his ring. Then they hoped that they'd be able to get his body, too. But when the servants came back with the ring, Hel got pissed because she wanted the whole package. She told her servants to go back up to Asgard and demand Baldr's body, and they did. Once again, the gods refused to let them have their friend's corpse, but eventually they gave in. And this time, they also gave the servants his other possessions as well. Hel was happy with this. She threw a big party in honor of Baldr, inviting all the giants and demons from the underworld. Meanwhile, back in Asgard, Frigg was getting ready to go to the underworld and retrieve Baldr's body so that they could properly bury him. She rode her chariot up to Hela's hall and demanded that she hand Baldr's body back over so that she could complete the funeral rites. Hel was having none of that, though. She said that she wasn't going to give him back because she was his lawful queen. Frigg said, "What are you talking about? You never married him." To which Hel replied, "Well, I might as well have, because all the other gods did." Then she turned to the rest of the crowd and asked if anyone there could tell her why she shouldn't keep Baldr for herself. No one spoke up. So she went back to Frigg and said that she was ungone. Nah, give him back because no one there could tell her why she should. Frigg was annoyed by this, but she knew better than to start a fight with Hel, so she left. On her way home, she stopped by Jorah, the home of the giantess who spun the threads of fate. There she met a couple of her friends, one of whom was Jord, the Norns, who controlled the fate of all the gods. With Earth, Frigg was able to read Baldr's future, and she saw that he was destined to be with her sister, the goddess of death. She knew then that he would never come back to Asgard, so she gave up on trying to retrieve his body. Now, Frigg wasn't the only one who went to the underworld to try and get Baldr back. His mother, the goddess Besla, also went down there to plead with Hel. She offered her everything she had if she would give her son back. But Hel wouldn't budge. And that was kind of weird because usually she was pretty easy to bargain with. Anyways, Besla was sad, so she sat down on a nearby stone and started crying. A nearby servant of Hel noticed this and felt bad for her, so he brought her some mead. The two of them drank together, and eventually the servant, whose name was Thamer, fell in love with Besla. Besla was lonely too, so she reciprocated his feelings. Eventually they decided to get married. The wedding took place in Hel's Hall, and afterward, Tamer moved down to the underworld to be with his new wife. And speaking of weddings, you probably remember me mentioning earlier that nobody could tell Hel why she shouldn't keep Baldr. Well, there was actually one person who could have told her, but he was afraid of what she might do to him if he did. That person was Loki. See, Loki wasn't really Baldr's uncle. He was actually his granddad. His mother was the giantess Loki, and his son Odin became friends with the giant. When he found out that the other gods were planning to kill Baldr, Loki warned them that it was a bad idea. They didn't listen though. And after they killed him, Loki showed up at Hel's funeral and told her that he could tell her why she shouldn't have him, but she would have to offer him her hand in marriage if he did. She agreed, and when he revealed that the gods had killed him, she immediately regretted it. Hel tried to leave the hall to go chase them down, but Loki stopped her and reminded her of their deal. So she had to stay and watch as he disappeared into the distance. That's the end of the story. If you enjoyed today's episode, check out our podcast. We upload new episodes every Wednesday. You can find us on various platforms. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting the channel. Till next time, stay frosty.